This meeting is being recorded.
Got it.
Well, Christina and I start letting him in. Okay, guys, be patient with us. Christina and I are trying to get everybody in. We got a good group today.
Okay, let's see.
Okay.
Looks like, is that everyone
Yeah,
so far?
I believe so. Yes.
We might get a few joining us.
Just a couple last people that are joining in, and Christina and I will keep an eyeball on that so we can let anybody in that logs in a little bit late.
Okay.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Just want to go through a little bit of Zoom etiquette and then do my introductions. I believe that most of you have been on Zoom before, but if not, I'm going to give you a little quick tutorial. So if you look all the way at the bottom of your screen, that is if you're on a computer. If you're on a phone, you're going to have to do some swiping. So if you're on your computer and you go all the way to the bottom, all the way over to the left-hand side, you're going to see what looks like an old-timey radio microphone, and that says mute. So I want everybody to stay muted until we get to the homeowners forum. Then you can either enter in your questions in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and go ahead and talk. But otherwise, if we could stay muted, because any background noise kind of throws everything off and tends to be a disturbance. Right next to that old-timey microphone, you'll see what looks like a video camera. And so it's totally up to you if you want to be on video so we can see your beautiful faces, or if you don't want to be on video. And so again, there's a little upside down V. If you pull that down, then you can either be on camera or not be on camera. You also can choose a virtual background. So if you want a cool background like what Jennifer has and what Ernie has, then you can pull down, and that kind of pulls from either Zoom or from the background pictures that you have on your computer. So with that, I'm going to go ahead. We are recording, just so everybody knows. If you want to go back and watch this video again, or if you have a neighbor that had to miss it and wants to watch, I always put these on the calendar under today's date. You'll see it there. You'll also see it under documents, board meetings, and for this board meeting, I'll have the agenda there, and I will also have the video. So just give me a little time. It takes a little while to crunch it down, about an hour, and then I will have it posted for you. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and give some introductions. I think most of you guys know me. I'm Dawn Wood, Regional Manager of NOVA, Manager of Oak Tree, and I have with me the Vice President of NOVA, Christina Peterson, is here. And then we have Takara, which she is at the Pavilion. She's got a couple folks down there that don't have access to computers, so she has graciously offered to host. Yay! See you guys all there. And we also have with us your homeowner board member, Steve Bay. And we have with us from Taylor Morrison, your declarant board, Karen Erickson and Jennifer Mahaffey.
All right, thanks, Dawn. Ooh, just almost threw my phone. We'll get started. I will call the meeting to order here at 4:06 for the Oak Tree Homeowners Association board meeting. We're actually gonna, we have a special guest that wasn't on the agenda. We have our Oak Tree Site Superintendent, Todd Dennis, on the call, and he's gonna make a couple announcements. And so I'll let him go ahead and kick off the meeting. Oh, we can't hear him. Let's see, Todd, yeah. Uh-oh, he has no volume.
He's unmuted.
I know, maybe it's on his end.
Yeah,
Is
you
your
might
little
not have,
speaker?
you might not have a microphone.
Yeah, he texted me and he said he couldn't get his speaker to work.
Yeah, he might not have a microphone. Now, what Todd can do is he can call on one of the numbers, and at a show we'll have his picture there. For any of you guys that don't have a microphone on your computer, you can click on the link and be on your computer, and you can also call in. We'll let you in, and you can talk.
So Todd, what I'll do is I'll let you figure that out, and we'll just go ahead. And if you want to call in, just let me know, and we'll pop back in.
Okay.
So that means we'll go to approving our last meeting minutes from January 2022. So in our board packet that existed. So I need a fellow board member to make a motion for approving.
I move to accept the minutes.
All right.
I second that motion.
Perfect. We will do those. So those should be posted on your portal, and after this meeting, those will get drafted and also get posted. Let's see here. So just getting right into it. The next thing we have here is our treasurer's report. So it's our March 2022 financial overview. Dawn, do you mind reading that?
Of course. So March 2022 financial reports were emailed to the board on 4/12/2022. As of March 31st, 2022, the current account balances are the total operating account assets, $1,028,065.24. In the checking account, $1,005,470.58. Delinquency as of March 31st was 0. And owner accounts on file, 270.
Great. So that's a little snapshot. And then we're just going to roll right into our committee reports. And I believe I saw the ACC committee on the call. Where's Lorraine?
I just saw her.
Okay,
There
I am. I'm Lorraine Reel, and I'm chair this year of the ACC committee, and I just have 3 things to bring to your attention. And number 1 is winter is over, and now we're all excited about getting out and possibly altering or adding to our exterior of our property. And so just a gentle reminder, please, please, please submit an ACC application for any changes that you want to make to your exterior. And to do that, you can find everything you need at the home page on the HOA portal under ACC document tab. That's on the left-hand side of that screen. And please make sure that you read the ACC standardization document pages that pertain to your project prior to completing your ACC application. Just make life easier for you and for us. Second, the committee has noticed that more residents are wishing to repaint the exterior of their homes. And so for your convenience, the ACC has 2 paint palette books, one for viewing at the Pavilion and one for checking out. These reference paint palette books contain all the manufacturer's palettes and details of the approved variations to an existing home palette. Homeowners are free to select a different scheme than they currently have, but must adhere to the standardization requirements on pages 14 and 15 of the ACC standardization document. And if you're wanting to check out a paint palette book, please contact Dawn Wood or myself, and we'll get that going for you. Thirdly, and lastly, that time of year again, we need to extend an invitation for Ovation residents to consider becoming a new ACC member for the October 2022 to October 2024 term. So if you're interested in serving on the ACC committee, please let Dawn Wood know so that we can give you an opportunity to better understand your role. And we'd like to have we would like to have community members from all areas of our development. So please, I would like to encourage residents from Division 2 to join the committee. So please seriously consider you contributing to our community by joining the ACC committee. That's it.
Great. And then we're just gonna move on to Landscape Committee with Ed Logan.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ed Logan, for those of you that I haven't met. And I'm chairman of the Landscape Committee and have a wonderful job of walking our neighborhood on a weekly basis and checking out everybody's front yards and lawns and the common areas. And despite what Lorraine said about winter being over, I thought we might have to activate our snow plan a little earlier this month, but it turned out to be not so. But I do want to start off by thanking everyone that attended our cleanup on Earth Day. We had a great turnout. I think it should be noted that there was less trash this year than there has been in the previous 2 years. So that means that I think we're making progress, and that's really great. The Landscape Committee has been busy working with Dawn and Monarch to determine several factors of as we come out of winter. One of which we've been looking at all the irrigation, which is now going to be turned on. And so we had to work with Monarch to make sure that some of the irrigations that got broken over the winter or the coverage areas weren't quite right. We worked with Monarch, and they're going to be working on those to get those fixed. We also noticed that there was some grass issues over on Oakwood that we, for certain lawns on the front lawn, you may notice that the growth is not really as well as we would like it to be. So we had Monarch actually investigating that, and they're working with Peterstown Landscaping to determine the cause, and then whatever the maintenance action will be following that. You've noticed that the mowing has already begun, and that'll continue throughout the summer. We were also working with Monarch to unstake trees throughout our division. Some of the older trees that have gotten sturdy enough, we need to remove the stakes, so we're going to be working with them as well on that. And lastly, yesterday or 2 days ago, a lawn application was put on for fertilizer to make sure that it'll grow, and everybody was asked to stay off it for a little while, especially because it would track back into the house, and we wanted to avoid that as well. Likewise, as Lorraine mentioned, if anyone is interested in the Landscape Committee, please contact Dawn Wood or myself. We'd be glad to have you. We still have one opening left. And if you enjoy walking around, there's no special knowledge required. Just an enjoyment of the landscape and enjoyment of the neighborhood. And that's all.
Great. Thanks, Ed. And then I see Mel on my screen, so go ahead and take it away.
Communications newsletter is coming out very soon. And don't forget to join the opt-in email list for occasional non-official emails. Most of those have been taken over by Takara now, and that's wonderful. And I don't think I have much to add, but Miriam has some really handy tips. Take it away, Miriam.
Okay. Hello, I am Miriam Hewitt. In case you don't know me, I work with Mel and the other members of the Communication Committee. And yeah, Mel talked about our most recent projects. The newsletter is going to be coming out really soon. We also create the Ovation Nation Handbook that has a lot of tips and contact information and helpful information, sort of a compilation of maybe things you've seen in email blasts. And instead of having to save all those emails, we put it all together in that handbook. So there is an April edition that I posted recently to the portal. And one other thing that I've been working on is everybody mentions the HOA portal, and I know that not everybody is really comfortable getting out there and using that portal, but it has so much helpful information, and I've been poking around out there, and I got the idea that maybe there was some a little bit of reorganization or streamlining that could be done. And Dawn very graciously allowed me to go in and do a little bit of reorganizing on the HOA portal. So I'm going to share my screen now, if that's okay, Dawn.
Yep. Do you need me to stop sharing, hon?
Yes.
Okey
Well, no, wait a
dokey.
minute. This will stop others. So I can override you, apparently.
Okay.
I like having that power.
Woo!
Okay, so I, of course, I'm kind of a super organized nerd. If anybody knows me, they'll say that's true. So I have a bookmark to the portal, and which I think everybody should have, which is pretty handy. What I was able to do some reorganizing on the portal was I kind of reordered these items that are in the left-hand menu to be a little more intuitive, we hope. And I know that means that some of Dawn's training videos that she's done, the items aren't in exactly the same order that she showed him in those videos, but everything is still there, and they're in a pretty logical, we hope, format. For example, we had the events calendar, and then there was something called events. Well, what the heck was that? That just means that all the events are listed in a calendar format. And if you're more comfortable seeing them in a list, there's a list of them as well. And one tip I wanted to show you that you'll see throughout the portal that maybe not everybody has discovered, when you see a column that has this little wedge, right now the wedge is pointing up, you can click that wedge. You see it's turned into a hand, so we know that's a link. You can click that, and it automatically has resorted that list in the opposite order. So this is alphabetical, so it's either ascending or descending alphabetically. But if you're looking for Wheedle the Needle, instead of scrolling all the way down, you can just click that and Wheedle the Needle comes right to the top. And then this is the ACC documents that Lorraine mentioned. So they're all pulled together in one place. And then we have a whole lot of more documents that I'm going to very quickly bring up. And this Ovation Nation handbook that I mentioned is right here in the documents. So there's the full PDF, the contacts, because sometimes that's really all you want. And then we have this other folder called Miscellaneous Helpful Resources. This has a whole lot of kind of miscellaneous files, like 2 summers ago when we were inundated with smoke from wildfires. We put together tips for dealing with wildfire smoke pollution. Mel and I researched with Sunset Air and a lot of other resources, and we put together some tips there. There's also some safety tips that Doc put together quite a long time ago. Then let's see where the other one I'm looking for is the one that we just recently, when we had the, well, for goodness sake, why am I not finding this? This is a really bad demo. Oh, here we go. Community safety seminar. Well, we had the sheriff come in recently and tell us kind of how to keep things safer. We put together a summary of that. So you'll find that kind of helpful information here. Then the last thing that I did was this helpful links and videos, and the HOA training videos. Those are a lot of things that Dawn has created that are training videos. I also got to go out to the YouTube channel and was able to organize all of our videos into playlists. So they're actually in categories now, instead of just being this huge list of videos that you kind of have to dig through. This is the playlist of how-to tutorials for homeowners. So you can see there's quite a lot of helpful information here. If you go to the playlists on the portal, these are the categories that are there so you can find what you want a little more quickly. So that was pretty much all I wanted to talk about. We encourage you to get out here, do some poking around, and find all the resources that the HOA has made available on the portal.
Great, thanks, Miriam. That's awesome. Cool. Let's see. We have Pavilion. I think I saw Jeannie on here. I think I see her phone number. Dawn, do you see Jeannie?
Thought I did. Bill, are you giving is it Jeannie or you?
Yeah.
Any, as far as I know.
Yeah, I see her phone number. I think it's one on the my second page. Bill, do you want to start?
Well, I sure can.
Thanks, Bill.
That's fine. For those who might not know me, I'm Bill Smiley, a former chairperson for the Pavilion Committee. And I want to let you know of the recent and totally unexpected passing of one of our committee members, Ed Nugent. If you've had a chance to meet Ed, you'd remember him. If you're new to the community, you probably have seen him. A little shorter, stocky guy with the eye patch. That's Ed. Because Ed and I worked together on the committee for several years, I got to know him fairly well. Ed was all energy. He was a guy with a positive outlook on life and who I never heard say a negative word about anybody. He was also the type of guy willing to do anything for anybody and expect nothing in return. And I guess I could go on about Ed, but we'd have to extend this meeting by a couple of hours. And of course, we're not going to do that. His wife, Cheryl, she's not with us this afternoon because of an important meeting. It actually had nothing to do with Ed's passing. However, as a representative of the present and previous committee members, I wish to express our sincere condolences to her and her family. And I guess I'll close by just saying that he will be missed by all those who he had touched. That's it.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't believe Jeannie is actually on the call. We were trying to figure that out. So let me see.
I don't see her on the call, Jennifer, but I can go ahead in my manager's
Perfect.
report and
Okay.
give all those updates that the Pavilion Committee would have probably shared some of that stuff anyway.
Perfect.
So the
So
Pavilion.
before you, actually,
Oh,
Dawn,
sorry.
sorry, before you get in, Todd's actually ready.
Oh, good.
So yeah, before you get into the manager's report, we'll have him
Okie dokie.
his presentation, and then we'll go into that.
So can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yay. Thanks, Todd.
Yeah, I'm talking through a phone and on a screen. Quite comical. So I'm Todd Dennis. I'm the senior superintendent for Taylor Morrison. That I came to Taylor Morrison in August last year to kind of help get things under control at the plat here. And I wanted to explain a couple different things. One of them is giving out the dog biscuits. This is the dog biscuit package that I give out when I see people walking on the side of the road with their little fur buddies or their little fur babies, they like to call them. I do that so I can introduce myself to different people in the plat. That is, I think, a benefit for the members and also for me. So if someone comes running up to me, I know that they actually live here. So we've introduced that as a thing that Taylor Morrison sponsors, the dog biscuits. They are from Mud Bay. They're a non-allergenic biscuit and safe for all of the dogs. So if you see me along the way and I see you with a little dog, I'm going to probably stop and give you a biscuit. or a little package of the biscuits. I did hear that there was concern from one of the residents that along some of the paths, someone was dropping some biscuits or treats. That is not me, and that is not something that I would do. So just for your own benefit, I probably would steer clear of those that are dropped on the path. So it seemed that it was more in the preserve. Now, as far as the construction site is concerned, I'm asking for a lot of assistance from all of the members here. We are going to be starting Division 3 going under full production, and it's going to move very quickly. And that's the area that is the big round circle out here, and then the one cul-de-sac where I've got a couple of foundations in. I'm asking for your help to stay out of the area. I know that there's a lot of walkers. I know that there's a lot of you that likes to get out and do a lot of exercising, and I think it's great to see you, but I would rather see you in the areas that are finished, where the homes are, than going into the areas where we're going to be doing the construction. It's a huge liability for us. If you were to get injured, Taylor Morrison could get into some trouble, and I would rather not have to go there with that. So if I can get everybody's assistance to help me with that and stay out of there, I would greatly appreciate it. I know everybody's curious about the villages. That is a different superintendent that's running that from Taylor Morrison. His name is Adrian. He's doing the commercial side of the thing. And I know that everybody wants to go over there and take a look. Again, it's one of those situations where we're going to ask, please stay out of there. You know, stepping off the sidewalk onto the dirt is not a good situation. I've recently had interaction with people in the green belt areas up on the hill. I've had them walking across the areas where we have prepped ready for the future homes. Stepping off of that sidewalk or on that off that road is not good. So please, I'm begging you as members of this community, help me stop the foot traffic going into the construction areas. It's not good. Yeah, there was one other thing and I can't think of it at this moment, but the big one is the safety. You know, the other area that's a big concern is the area where the main road is going to go up to join McAllister. That area, that gravel road is not meant for people to be walking on. I need to keep you guys out of there. So anywhere where there's barricades, please help me and stay out.
Great.
So that's pretty much what I had. If you see me coming across the Platte, I drive a silver Toyota pickup. It's a little bit darker. My assistant drives a lighter silver one. But if you see me in the Platte, I'll wave to you. And if you have any questions, you can stop. And I'm pretty polite and nice. I enjoy talking with people. And I can answer questions for you if you have some, especially on the updates of the status. If I know the answer to it, I'll gladly answer it for you. So, all right. I look forward to meeting more people on the Platte.
Great. Thanks, Todd. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Jennifer, I'm unmuted. I am here.
Oh, you
This
are?
is Jeannie Reader.
Okay. Do you want to
Yes.
do your Pavilion
I'm sorry.
Committee update?
Sure. For some reason, I couldn't unmute myself. I
Gotcha.
just got back on a day.
Okay.
Okay. I just have a few things. And the first one is the thermostat issues that we've had at the Pavilion. Dawn and Bill Smiley met with Sunset Air regarding the thermostat. And Dawn prepared a thermostat tutorial for us that Bill is kind of tightening up, and that's going to be in our manual. It's important that everyone know that sometimes we experience some cool air in the Pavilion, and that has to do with the fresh air intake system. It brings in the outdoor area to recirculate the indoor area, and which often seems cool at first. So we're trying to keep the thermostat there from 60 to 70 degrees. And so we're not going to tamper with that at this time. And so if you come up to the Pavilion and you know you're going to be there for a half an hour to an hour, it might be good to bring a sweater or a jacket so that you can be comfortable, because it does get a little cool once in a while. Let's see, the patio heaters on the 14th, the electrician worked to install the newly rebuilt heaters on the patio. And so all of that seems to be all set and good for us. And the third thing I have is that there have been some requests for a bookcase in the pavilion that some people have wanted. And for now, Takara has arranged many of the books on the bookcase shelves in the main room. They look very nice, and they look very welcoming, and they are there for homeowners to take one and exchange perhaps another. At this time, we're unsure about where a bookcase might be put into the pavilion, so we're just kind of on hold for that for now, since so many people tend to use a Kindle or their laptop for reading. So we're just really not sure where that's going to be right now, but we are discussing it. Our committee will take that discussion up again in our May meeting. And let's see, there's a lot of flurry of activity in the pavilion at this time. People have been signing up for events, and we're looking pretty full for the summer. So if you have an event that you'd like to put a reservation in for, we encourage you to do that. Those forms can be found on the portal, and if you need help with that, don't hesitate to give myself or Takara a call. And let's see if that is everything that I have. I think that's pretty much it. As I said, we just encourage everybody to use the pavilion and to kind of clean up after themselves, keep it nice and neat, and the way that we would like to see it as we do in our own living room. We do have potential homeowners coming through, and they like to step in and take a look around, and we want to be very welcoming to them and assure them that we're going to have a nice space for them. So I think that that's all I have, and I'd just like to thank Bill for the commentary that he made about Ed Nugent. He was on our committee, and we will miss him greatly, but we're looking forward to bringing a couple of new folks onto the committee. So that's all I have.
All right, thanks,
Thank you for
Jeannie.
being patient.
Yeah, not a problem.
You're welcome.
I'm going to actually just follow up on something. There is going to be on May 10th, just a heads up, and Dawn will be sending out a reminder. There'll be a temporary closure of the pavilion while we do a lobby refresh. So we're working on establishing sort of a concierge desk area for Takara to do more lifestyle and be more present in the pavilion. So there'll be some activity and some flurry in the lobby area on May 10th. That is actually not funded by the HOA, but funded by Taylor Morrison, because I know people, inquiring minds will want to know that. So May 10th, Dawn will send out a reminder prior to that. So pardon the dust as we enhance and expand a little bit in that foyer area. So just a little heads up on that for the pavilion. All right, Dawn, go ahead.
Okie doke. So some of this might be some of the same things that Jeannie had mentioned. The first thing I wanted to talk about was the pavilion cleaning service. We've had some inquiries on how often the cleaner is there. The cleaner is there for inside cleaning 3 days a week, which is Sunday. They actually get there at nighttime, Sunday night, Tuesday night, Thursday night. And with it almost being May, we will start doing the patio cleaning as well. I'm also working with them on cleaning the cushions. So I'll get that scheduled and let you know when that is as well. The pavilion window cleaning is a quarterly contract, and that was last cleaned in January. The next cleaning is May 12th, and then they will be cleaning the windows again July 18th. The Oak Tree Pavilion handyman tightened up some loose tables that were in the pavilion. He repaired the microwave face that was a little bit loose, and he patched a hole that was in the wall in the women's bathroom. Last week, the pavilion gutters were cleaned. The retention pond fence, which some of you have seen, we had an unfortunate incident with a drunk driver that ran into the retention pond fence, and with some detective work by myself and Takara helped out too, getting me the sheriff information. We were able to locate his employer because he was in an employee vehicle, and we found the insurance company, and we're able to get a check sent to Oak Tree so that we can get that taken care of. They just received the check, so probably next week or the week after they will be coming out and installing a new fence around the retention pond over there on Marvin Road. And as Jennifer mentioned, the pavilion will be closed with no access during the day, May 10th, for lobby renovations. And as Takara and I hear more information on the exact hours, and in the event that we can have something in the evening time for people to come and use the facility, we'll let you know as soon as we hear the exact information on that. And then the pavilion will also be closed on June 29th with no access during the day, because we will be doing pressure washing of the building and the cement areas around the pavilion in preparation for, wait for it, July 14th and 15th. Again, no access to the pavilion during the day because the pavilion is being beautifully restained. We're using the same vendor that originally stained the pavilion, and they will be coming back and doing that on July 14th and 15th. The plumber came out and replaced the hot water tank in the outside kitchen and the pavilion patio barbecue sink in February, and he showed Bill and myself how to winterize. So we have that information for this next year. There was a small roof leak in the pavilion roof reported by Sunset Air, and so that was repaired as well. The electrician came to fix the broken patio heaters. There was a brand new one installed, and then there was 3 that were completely rebuilt. The manufacturer provided all of that, and so it was completely rebuilt and able to be used now. And the HOA landscaper is Monarch. They do post updates weekly to the portal under announcements. So I do ask that homeowners check those for weekly updates. Also, if there's going to be anything like spraying weeds or any kind of lawn treatments, I will be e-blasting and putting that in the announcement as well. And just a reminder not to call Monarch or ask them to do specific work orders. I track all of the work orders. So please come to me if you have a work order for something in your front yard. They are getting ready to do a big order for our very first plant replacement. And so if you guys have a dead plant, then get a hold of me right away so I can get your plant added into that order, which they will be placing here pretty soon. And so the updated annual 2022 annual calendar is on the portal under documents. The next new homeowner orientation that Takara and I host at the pavilion will be on June 9th at 11 a.m. I do have orientation recordings. I have one that we did last year that is pretty extensive. It's long, but it has all the committee's input. It's very informative. And then I also have one that Takara and I did earlier in the year, recorded. That's on YouTube. So if you want to take a look at those, you're more than welcome to do that. And if you have any newer homeowners that just want to come down and be part of that orientation, you're welcome to. If you've got questions, please feel free to give me a call or come and see me on Thursday. And as Miriam mentioned, thank you so much, Miriam, for helping out with those YouTube tutorials and getting them all in playlist. They are on the Oak Tree YouTube page, and they are on the portal under links. And then as a reminder, under documents, there is the HOA responsibilities versus non-responsibilities. Sometimes there is a little bit of confusion, and so that document is there. And again, of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. So for portal updates, there are 273 registered email members on file. And then for reports, I sent over to the board the ACC notes report, work order report, account details, violation and association reports, and then subscription reports such as like the work order reports that I send to the landscape committee on a weekly basis and to Monarch so that we can keep track of those. And any of the other committees, if they need, for instance, ACC committee, if you'd like a copy of the ACC report, then I can provide that as well.
Great, thanks, Dawn. So we'll go to our new business, our 2023 budget advisory group. So we had a group of people who graciously volunteered and submitted an application, and we had just the other day we had 2 groups of group interviews, and we have formed a budget advisory group that will be working closely with the board and with Dawn And with you as an ownership, getting feedback and having conversations about the budget, the 2023 budget. Currently, let's see, our group is consisting of William Dickey, Mary Alice Grovins, and John Bullock. They've graciously volunteered their time and accepted the position to be on the budget advisory group. So we'll be working with them starting early next week on getting organized and starting that process. So keep on the lookout for more information. You'll probably be seeing a lot of correspondence directly through them or with the assistance of Dawn and or your communications committee. And more to come on that, but we wanted to let you know that we're actively working on that, and we have stood up the group. So moving ahead, charging ahead. Then we have a Steve Bay, your homeowner board member, actually just completed his CAI certification, which is really awesome. It's time and effort, and he dedicated some hours to getting this done, and it's really great. Like, he's got a fun certificate and books. I will say it's really awesome to have a homeowner be interested in being educated as being your board member. Typically, we don't have people wanting to take classes. So I think it's great that Steve really wanted to do that. And we hope we continue that with other future homeowner board members as well. So thanks and congratulations, Steve. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then we have just a little bit of a formality. We have an ACC committee charter update. So this just needs to be reflected in your meeting minutes that the ACC committee updated the purpose of their charter, which was approved by the board. So I need someone to motion it and then second it, and then we can approve it in the minutes.
I motion approval of the revised ACC committee charter.
Perfect. And where's Karen?
I'm muting
There you
and
go.
second that motion.
Perfect. So that will go into place, and we'll just update that on the portal. And now we get to segue to Takara so she can talk about some lifestyle.
Hello. For those of you that don't already know me, my name is Takara. I am the lifestyle manager. We've had quite a bit of change in the last few months since the last board meeting. We've had a few new clubs that have started taking up regular space on the social calendar. So if you look on the portal or on our hard copy of calendars that we have here in the pavilion, you'll notice that our days in the pavilion are getting very full very fast. So my recommendation to all of you that are thinking about hosting anything for summer gatherings or events that you would like to have in the pavilion, please submit those requests sooner rather than later, as our calendar is very, very full already. In addition to that, we have quite an increase to our lifestyle type events now that the restrictions for COVID have adjusted and been lifted and not quite as stringent. So you'll see quite a few new offerings coming up on the calendar for the next summer months, and also a wider variety of events. Again, if there's any suggestions or recommendations that you would like to see being held in the community, please by all means reach out and we will see if logistically that is something that we can facilitate here. And then lastly, just as a reminder for those of you that are not as apt to use the portal calendar, I do keep printed copies of the social calendar here in the pavilion in the lobby. Please be mindful though that those are not always necessarily the most up to date. The portal is your most up to date resource for what is happening in the pavilion at any given moment. And that's all I really have.
Okay, thanks. And then Dawn, are these your reminders on work orders?
Yeah, well, I kind of said it a little bit in my manager report, but again, for work orders, for some of the new folks coming in, they may have a little bit of confusion on what happens if I have a dead plan or what's going on with my sprinkler, it's not working. So Monarch is actively working on getting all the irrigation up and running. However, as always, if you notice that something's wrong with a sprinkler, either in the common area or in your yard, then please let me know so I can do a work order. Again, I track all the work orders, and we're getting ready to do that very first plant replacement. So if you got a deadhead plant in your yard, please let me know so that I can get you in on that first round. Otherwise, the next one will probably be in June. So just a reminder about that. And then COVID safety, again, we know that the masks mandate has been lifted. However, if you listen to the news, unfortunately, it's scary. You still hear that there's rises in COVID in certain areas and location. Seattle's had a recent spike. Certain parts of Oregon have had a recent spike, and other states have had recent spikes of this new variant. And so we just want everybody to be healthy and safe. And so if you feel more comfortable going into the pavilion with a mask, by all means. If you feel sick, please take care of yourself and stay home and get better. We just want everybody to be healthy and well.
All right, so we'll go to the Taylor Morrison section. Before Dawn shares her screen, I'm going to look at some of these questions that came in prior to the meeting. And one of them was, when will the first homes in Div 3 be built / occupied? Looks like our deliveries, our first delivery is sometime in early September for the new Div 3. Currently they're sold out, but they're doing another release here soon. Let's see, what else do we have here? We had quite a bit of a big section about pickleball. Looks like the pickleball club has been recently formed. And so in the meantime, they're looking for off-site opportunities to play. And you'll see here in a minute that pickleball is programmed for the villages. Looks like 2 courts at the moment. There's a lot of specifics of what courts will be made of. Don't know those specifics yet, but when we get there, we'll be sharing that information. But there will be pickleball courts. Someone also wanted to know here, is there going to be a groundbreaking soon? I know that Takara and her team that she's working on, they're working on something. We don't have a date yet. So obviously you guys will be the first to know when we have a date, and we'll get that out. And I know that there is something planned. So more to come. That's happening. And then the next question, I guess, would be, what building will be first in 2023? What can we expect? So the villages will consist of 2 buildings and a large area in the exterior that's programmed. Expect the banquet community building to be first. Then a month or 2 following will be the fitness pool building. So that'll all be spring, summer of 2023. The buildings are all permitted now. So I'm going to give you a big disclaimer, and Karen and I want you to know that we're being very honest. There's a lot of things about the interior we don't know yet. So for those that are itching and like just chomping at the bit to know how many pieces of fitness equipment and whatnot, don't have that all dialed in yet. We're still working with the Taylor Morrison Esplanade, which happens to be like an active adult / resort lifestyle team. So we're still working through some of those nuances and making sure we have like a really nice treatment inside. So big disclaimer, some of the stuff in the inside of the building is subject to change. So don't get married to how many tables are listed and how many pieces of equipment, because obviously we're not going to have one mat in the fitness area. But we're going to share. This is actually now part of the sales and marketing collateral. So you'll see it. And this is what new prospective buyers are seeing. But the footprint of the building is accurate. So, and the exterior is pretty accurate as well. So Dawn, do you mind sharing the villages map here? There we go. All right. So it's a little truncated on the left. So let me start from the left. So down where it says event lawn, to the left will be kind of programmed. Actually, it'll be even a little farther over past. It's kind of cut off, but that is where a dog park or a dog area is being programmed. Someone asked if there's going to be an off-leash section. I'm thinking so. Just don't have specifics yet on that, but that is programmed in that little area as well. And then as you see, this is the community room right above the event lawn with some fireside seating. There's a patio that will have tables and whatnot. And there's a indoor-outdoor fireplace. And then seating and tables and whatnot within that building for events and ballroom type things. It'll be sort of like a catering kitchen. I do know that. And then obviously restrooms attached to it. Then there'll be sort of a lobby foyer reception area. And then we go to sort of this gathering room, which will be, you know, as you can see, programming of table tennis, poker tables, those kind of things in there. Like I said, don't get married to the actual drawings, but just wanted you to see the usage of the actual buildings themselves. And then there's actually a covered patio here where it says patio, that'll be covered as well as the other building is. And then you'll walk over to the fitness/pool building. We'll start up at the top. So that's where the fitness is going to be located. So more to come on the type of equipment and pieces of equipment. Full locker room for men and women. And then the movement studio, like I said, see, it's just one mat and one ball. Obviously, there'll be more there. That's going to be a multi-purpose movement studio for like yoga and other fitness activities and programming that we bring in as well. The outdoor patio actually will have space to hold classes as well. So we could probably have, when it's nice out, actually go up a little bit more, Dawn. That one, yeah. That one will also be able to have, you know, wellness, spa, yoga type activities out there when it's nice for us. And then if you go down to the other patio that you were just at, there will be chairs out there, you know, there'll be outdoor patio as well with an outdoor hot tub / spa right there. And then we go over to the pool, and someone had asked a question, what size? It's just shy of a junior Olympic lap pool. So for those of you who know what that size is, it's just shy of that measurement. So, but it will be a functional lap pool in that regards. So this footprint actually, and then my little pictures here of people are covering it. But we have 2 pickleball courts programmed. It just got cut off on this. With the event of the lawn area right below the pickleball courts, I still think we're still vetting out programming. If there's a high demand, it could be more sport courts. Bocce ball is also programmed as well to have some bocce ball lanes and whatnot. So this is what we know right now. And you'll start to see a lot more activity. Just like Todd said, it is a different site superintendent who is working on this. So it's very separate. We'll keep you up to date if we know more, but we wanted to at least be able to share this. So yeah, that's pretty much what we have for our update. That was all the questions that were submitted prior. There was a note that said the disaster prep group is being head up by Ernie Bodo. I don't know if he's on the call, but that was just a little note that was on here. So I thought I'd share. So if you have questions, I guess this would be the opportunity and the time if you want to type them in chat or unmute, ask.
So I got a question from the Marionals. They want to know if we know if there will be access to the villages, to the pavilion on May 10th at 4 a.m. for the gym. So
yeah, I would think so.
To see when they're going to be there. I would imagine early before they get there would be okay, but I'm not quite sure yet.
Yeah, I think we're waiting for them to lock in the delivery date of when they're bringing the furniture and when they're going to be moving some things around. So I don't think they're going to be there at 4 a.m.
Doubtful.
You're probably safe in that hour.
Okay, so I got another question that says, do we know if the pool will be salt water or chlorine at the villages?
I'm going to go out on a limb and probably say it's chlorine.
Okay.
But we'll find out.
Okay, so we got dog park. We already answered that. Someone asked, do the homeowners have input on what exercise equipment will be at the villages?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay. And then someone asked about the map. How is it oriented? Is it going to be like as you drive in to see the villages? Will it be head on that way, or is it going to be turned to the side? Or
you'll come at it from the side because on the other side of the building is a parking lot.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and there will be a larger, more encompassing rendering, but this is the initial one that has come out.
Okay. Next question, will there be a hobby type room available at the villages?
I think what you see in that general area, I don't think there's a specific hobby room. It's more of an open space, I think.
Okay.
I can't see the question, so I'm waiting.
Yep,
for you
I'm
to-
looking.
I can't see
I'm reading.
it.
Just getting some thumbs up.
Gotcha.
I thought I saw Ernie. I wanted to ask Ernie if he wanted to speak a little bit. There he is.
Oh, there he is. He's
There's
like,
Ernie.
he's on the beach.
Dang, I'm jealous.
How you doing?
Hey,
Good.
Ernie. I thought you might want to talk about the emergency preparedness group.
Yes, I was kind of liking to step in real quick for about 30 seconds.
Sure.
As you know, I took over as the disaster preparedness coordinator for HOA. We're starting to do some testing to make sure we can communicate well among ourselves with the block captains and trying some different ways to ensure the safety of Country Place, or I'm sorry, not Country Place, Ovation of Oak Tree. That's where I used to work. One of the things is we do have some CERT slots available. I've touched out to the block captains and the old CERT members. And they're responding back. I need the rest of the responses today. But if you're interested in becoming a CERT member or want to know more about that, please email me today so I can give you the information. The in-person class will be June 25th and 26th. If you're a new person who's never been CERT certified, there's an online course I can send you the link to that you have to complete prior to that. I don't know how many slots we're going to get, but I hopefully try to get people going with that. Along with that, thanks to Bill Smiley and some other block captains, we're doing communications testing and kind of procedural testing. The big thing for the community will be in October when we do the Great American Shakeout again. More details on that as we get it formulated. If there's any questions for me, ask now or send me an email. My email address is out on the portal. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Ernie. Did anything else come in, Dawn?
I have a question about a sign, but we'll put that before the board and the landscape committee at a later time. It's too involved to even begin to answer right now.
Okay.
Any other questions, you guys?
Like I said, we'll share more when we know more. Karen and I are chomping at the bit just as much as you are to find more about the villages, but we're definitely rolling ahead, so that's exciting.
So question is, can I post the map that we just looked at on the portal? Is that okay?
Yep. 100%. Yep. All right, well, if there aren't any other questions, or if you think of them later, don't hesitate to send them to Dawn. She'll forward it on to the board. I will go ahead and formally adjourn at 4:59. So Dawn has to format these recordings, and then she typically has them up on the portal by Friday.
Yeah.
For those that didn't catch the meeting today.
As soon as I can crunch them down.
Yep. Well, great. It was good to see some new faces today and some familiar ones as well. So we shall see each other soon. More to come.
Next
Thanks,
meeting,
guys.
July 27th.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.